Yeah, welcome back to the Bungalow, everyone. To start, I'd like to acknowledge traditional owners of the land that we are on today, the land of the Wadawurrung people. Pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. And yeah, just thank them for everything that they've done to ensure that this land is still maintained the way that it is, so that we can live, work, play, have a bit of fun on. My name is Aaron Clark. Dad's side, Mati, Bunurong, Trawallaway. Mum's side, Nookna, Cookatha and Durug. I'm the team leader for Children Youth Services programs here at BADAC. Get to do all the fun stuff with the kids. I've got Nikki Bell.
Hello.
How you going?
Good. I'm a proud Gunditjmara, Watchbollock and Nunanjeri woman. And yeah, happy to be here and be part of this podcast.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, our next guest, Anthony. Welcome, brother.
Thanks for inviting me and having me, and took a bit to get here, but
that's all right. We know you're a busy man. You got called with the last patient there, the last minute, I think. So
no, it's
we'll forgive you.
Yeah,
Someone's got to look after our community.
Exactly right. That's it.
And that's what I'm passionate about. But we'll have a chat about that a bit later on. But
yeah, awesome.
Like Nikki, I'm Gunditjmara, Watchbollock.
Yep.
Nan's from down Gunditjmara way, and Grandpa, Uncle Murray Harrison's from Watchbollock, from up Horsham, Dimboola way, and just real happy to be here and have a bit of a yarn and talk about who we are and what we do, and how we can support this community to push forward. That
sounds great. Yeah, like I've known you for quite a long time now, Ant, and I know we've worked together for a little bit, and we've played golf together for a little bit. We've been out and run amok and partied a little bit together, and
I beat you at golf once.
Here we go.
Yeah,
I'm never going to hear the end of it.
That was a great day at Albert Park.
Do you remember the time and the date?
He probably has got that written down somewhere, recorded. He's probably got it. It's probably framed.
Yeah.
Highlighted down the bottom the day I beat Clarkie.
Absolutely.
No, it's great to have you on board, mate. And like I said, we've been mates for a while, so I'm keen to have a chat to you and I guess find a little bit more about who Ant Harrison is and where you got to where you are now.
That's your journey.
You're one of our practicing nurses here at BADAC, and it'd be cool to sort of find out your pathway into that, because I guess a lot of our community, you don't sort of hear and see a lot of Aboriginal men being nurses. So sort of keen to find out a little bit more about that. So Ant, can you just tell us, who are you, where do you come from, and what do you do with yourself?
Yeah, so as I said, I grew up in Ballarat community. Grandma and Nan and Grandpa and the mobs from around here, and Grandpa and Nan grew up in the orphanages around locally. So, and they stayed here and made their life here, and it was a crazy upbringing. Plenty of family, plenty of friends around here, but
big family mobs.
Mum was one of. I try and remember this every time.
Yeah.
there was a lot. So
just a big family.
Lots
big
of
family.
aunties,
Big family.
And all from different, they all went their own journeys and paths. And but growing up in a big family was interesting, and especially being the oldest grandson in that community, you see a lot of the younger aunties and uncles and coming through, and their early age journeys and what they were doing with themselves.
That's it.
It was hard to, not invest in some of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And what they were up to. But Nan, being the matriarch of our family,
that's
and unfortunately we lost Nan a couple of years ago, but she was amazing what she did for the community and, for our family. She was an amazing person, but seeing what she put up with from family and how she managed that and dealt with that, was it's instilled a lot of who I am today, and trying to be a better father and a better nurse and a better person.
You can kind of see that as you get older too, can't you? Like you look back on times and you're like, damn, you've had to witness a lot, and and you can got so much more respect, hey,
absolutely
for them, as you get older.
That's trauma,
that's it, 100%.
And that's a big part of what we do here as well, is that trauma, transgenerational trauma from
for sure.
Passed down from grandma,
That's
from
it.
grandpa and Nan, and what they went through to where we are today.
That's it.
And how do we build on that, and how do we strengthen that community trust and bond and family trust and bond, and what we do moving forward. But, that's from where I started, from school to here we are now. It's, that change it's incredible.
Yeah.
I guess I was never the best student at school, through primary school, high school, I was always a class clown, and I never really applied myself.
Yeah.
I just had that, I just want to be the funny guy, or
there for your mates and stuff. Hey,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it was, I just never at school, I was not a great student. So, and then to be a practice nurse within the community, and I've been a nurse for, I think 12, 13 years now, working in BADAC in the community nurse, practice nurse, integrated team care coordination role. I've been here for 10 years, and, it's taught me a lot about who we are and what we're trying to achieve. So,
So why nursing?
That is a good question. I guess, when I was at school, I had no aspirations. I had no thought about where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. I really just wanted to finish year 12. And I was thinking about it, and when I was finishing year 12, I needed to finish woodwork. And I said to the woodwork teacher, I'm like, I need to pass this to pass school. And he's like, righto. He pretty much did my final model, and it was like a magazine rack. And it was terrible. Even though that he did it, I'm like, all right, well, this will probably pass because it looked like I did it.
Yeah. What a teacher.
He was. I don't know where he is now. Might be not here anymore. That was a long time. But anyway, and I finished year 12, and I got a terrible enter score. I don't even know if I got one, to be honest. I finished year 12, and then from year 12, I went and worked with the Department of Sustainability and Environment, which is now DALP, or whatever it is now.
And DECA or something, isn't it?
Something. I think they change their acronym.
Yeah, change it all the time.
Months, so.
That's it. It was DSE when I was a kid.
Same
as DHHS. I always change it by the acronym.
That's right. So I went and did a traineeship there with Hayden Atkinson, did it at the same time. And I think I started there when I was 17, so I couldn't even drive their cars, and I was really young, and I was still trying to discover who I was and what I wanted to do. So I did that for 18 months, 3 years, and that was a crazy experience. It was amazing. We were going on campaigns, fighting fires everywhere, seeing parts of Australia that no one's seen for a very long time.
That's it.
But on our very first day there, we went in a fire truck, and we went around this sharp bend, and it rolled over down a gully, and I'm like, well, this is the job. Like, I don't know if I'm going to survive very long. But a few of the campaigns got pretty hairy. But that was a very long time ago now.
Yeah,
but,
that's really cool though. And a lot of our people are doing that work now too. Hey,
absolutely,
it's quite big in our community.
And I think at that time there wasn't a lot of Aboriginal people within that role, but now it's just great to see people through parks and
that's it.
Through DALP and just more 100%. Aboriginal people looking after our land. And in those positions. So, but then at that time, as I was sort of finishing up, with DALP, Nan got pretty crook with cancer, and talking to some of the nurses, like, we always need male nurses. I'm like, right, I don't know what I'm doing anyway.
So let's give it a go.
So, and I thought, I was never a great student, so like, how am I going to do this? This is like crazy. But there was a few people, and really pushed me through was people going, I don't know if you can do this.
Having that doubt on you.
And that instills doubt.
100%.
You're like,
that's it.
If these people don't think I can do it.
And if you already had those thoughts as well, struggled at school and stuff.
But that sort of made me go,
good.
Push you harder, made you go on and prove them wrong.
I love that.
So I'm like, I could probably do this.
Yeah.
And then, went to uni and failed my first subject of the first year because I got too involved with the uni lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you, eh?
Yeah. But then the next year I got a HD for
amazing.
like that subject, and got a couple of more HDs, and did in the first placement was aged care, and I'm like, this sucks. There's no way I want to do this. Like it was just it was not for me. Like but it it's an important position, but it just really wasn't for me. But anyway, the more uni went along, the more I fell in love with the role, and looking after people was rewarding. Working in hospitals, looking after people from all different backgrounds, and hearing different people's stories and journeys, and you become invested in in the role and in these people.
You're a comfort for the family as well, aren't you? Like, you're looking after them, but you're doing so much more. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was in the hospital. And then 1 year at a NAIDOC event, Arnie Faye caught me, and we would sort of hanging around, having a laugh, and she's like, what would be really great if you come and worked at BADAC as like a practice nurse at BADAC. And I'm like, I've never really thought about it. There's always been a few issues in the past, but I'm like, this is great. And she's like, it's 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I'm like, you're sold.
Yeah,
done.
that's it.
No more shift work. I'm like, perfect.
Weekends off, how good.
But, and then, from the get-go, working with community, working with people and looking after mob and looking after people who grew me up. So people, elders who, are part of my early life, being able to be a part of their life later on, and look after them, and, advocate for community and mob, and trying to build that resilience, and, what can we do, or what can I do to make your day, if it's 2 or 3% better, that's better. It's going to promote better outcomes.
100%.
And I've been here for 10 years, so build a really great rapport with community, and
they've got that familiar face too when they come in. Hey, like, it just it gets that anxiety away and stuff like that if they know someone.
Absolutely. And even mob from out of town, like from up north, and some of these kids who are from communities who are boarding. If they've got Aboriginal people looking after them,
that's it.
And being able to just be comfortable, they're able to open up and talk more openly, and talk about things that you might not normally want to talk about.
100%.
So, but Arnie Faye, she was a big advocate for me coming, but then also just showed me, how we can look after community in a more holistic way, and really advocating and promoting best health outcomes, for our community.
It's amazing.
What's been some of the challenges you've had to face?
There's been a few, but I guess because we are working in community, and we grow so close to families, and it's not only the individual. We're treating one person, but we're treating the whole family.
That's right.
So looking after one person, and as time goes on, people pass away and get unwell, and you're still trying to provide that best quality care, and people passing away, who do become like family, and even family, we are treating them, and that is one of the biggest challenges, is losing mob who we've been working with, or who we've known forever, and just and continuing on. But I think that's one of the bigger things, is that I get an opportunity to be able to look after these people at a later stage in their life, and when they need that support and help, and advocacy, and and be given the opportunity to, support them. And not only when they are passing away, but early on, right through. So to build that rapport and to allow them to have that space where they feel comfortable and to be able to have really difficult conversations, and just provide that quality care. So, so that it is a challenge, but it's also I'm very lucky to be able to do what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Awesome. Outside of work, dude, like, what do you do? Like, what do you do with yourself outside of when you're not a nurse? Who are you?
Well, I've taken up outdoor cricket this year, so I give up golf, and I've got too good at that. I think it was just like
Aaron Clark, you had to move on.
It wasn't like it was not difficult anymore. And what else can I do?
I love that.
What else can I do?
Might call it a rematch, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I thought I'd take up outdoor cricket, and I just. At the start, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this is really difficult and I don't know what I'm doing. But, you meet new people.
Yeah.
And that was a great thing about outdoor cricket, or, just meeting people that you would never meet and just really gain. And in a team environment, you gain that camaraderie and brotherhood and stuff. But, also I'm a father, and I've got, young Oakley, who's just a maniac. He's
a funny little kid, that one.
He's, but he takes up a lot of the time. He's been diagnosed with autism and ADHD, so he's just flat out all the time.
Yeah.
But he's amazing in
That's
seeing that growth and development every single day, and he's just so amazing to do that.
Yeah.
Even though half the time he's trying to either bite your face off or scratch your eyes out, but when he does, give you those big hugs.
That's
and kisses, and
it's pretty special, isn't it? I know I've been down to the kinder, and I think we were doing Waiapa, but none of the kids were into doing yoga and stuff. So we started just doing songs and dancing, and he'd come and sat with me, and I was like, oh my god, like he's sitting with me. I was like, this is awesome, that, like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's such a great moment.
Get those little wins where he knows.
That's
and that's where he makes me want to be better in everything that I do. So
amazing.
And he keeps me grounded, and
that's so good.
But he keeps me very, very busy.
Yeah, I bet.
which is great. So
they're awesome.
So besides cricket and being a dad, that sort of keeps me me busy. So trying to keep a tidy house is that's what he's trying to do next. And
that's it.
It's funny with Oakley because you'll be packing stuff away,
and
you turn your back for 1 minute, and everything's back out again. So.
I'll do that later.
Absolutely, just give up. Hands up.
I think that's the thing with most kids. We even get that at youth group.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You try and pack stuff away, and you turn around, there's crap everywhere again because someone's pulled it out. And
Yeah,
definitely.
George's being a parent, hey?
Absolutely, and you
stick with Arnie Laugh.
No, you wouldn't have it any other way. And obviously, different parents have kids with more challenges than other kids, and but at the same time, you just wouldn't change it.
Yeah, absolutely. But
we've had the pleasure of seeing Oakley grow up as well.
Yeah, that's it.
And he cracks you up.
He reminds
he just lights you up. He just makes you want to smile and have a giggle.
Yeah,
that kid, and no matter what he's doing.
Hey, he's just him.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the Wild Thornberries, but there's like Donnie off the Wild Thornbury, like like he's that
so much energy,
personified, just jumps everywhere.
Yeah. I love that show.
That's
it's a great way to explain it.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, with everything that you've done, you've gone through, doubting yourself with uni and all that. Who was your people that push you through and instill these good values in you?
So I guess family, mum and dad, and grandpa and nan, to see them for what they've been through, especially grandpa and nan to come from that stolen generation.
Yeah.
Unsupported by family, not knowing who they are, or
Yeah, for sure.
just not having that early life strength and resilience to who they are now. Like Grandpa, he will have a yarn forever. He'll tell you about everything. And
we had him in a youth group
he was
session
awesome,
last year or the year before. I think it was the anniversary of the Kevin Rudd's National Apologies. So we brought Uncle Murray in, and the kids he sucked them in.
He did, We sometimes struggle with getting attention, but they were literally just standing there, just staring up at him, and then he started singing, and he's like, "Come on, join in," and it was so cool.
And he sucked us into. Like, I've heard his story so many times, but it's just like it's like the first time you've heard it. Every time you hear it, anyway.
Yeah. And he's like that through life, and it's funny. He come to one of the cricket games, and he was a good cricketer, and Dad was a good cricketer as well. And he'd just stand there. He's like, all right, if they're right-handed, you've got to bowl over the wicket. And he's like, you've got to get it on the point. I'm like, Graham, so I've only just started playing. I'm lucky to get on the pitch. Just relax. But he was the same. He's always, giving you all the advice, especially with golf.
Yeah.
Golf is a long game, and he would make it even longer.
Yeah.
He'd be standing over the ball, and he's like, righto.
So I'm just trying to have some fun.
Yeah, that's why I gave up golf, really.
Hear that? That's why I gave it up. Not because of me. Arnie Dye was the same, like with football. Like when I played at Sebas, you'd hear her over the side. Clarky, you need to run more. I'm like, yes, Arnie Dye, I know. Well, you're looking a bit chubby there. You need to run some more laps. Thanks, Arnie Dye. Bloody hell.
It must have just been a thing. Like, Grandma was the same with that.
Yeah, they're just trying to build us up.
Just
Push us. Yeah. Nan was the same. She, Mum never wanted me to play footy.
Yeah.
So Uncle Tony and Nan sort of got together and got me in. I didn't have a pair of boots or shorts.
Oh, true. They're like, nah, you got them.
But so they got me in, and after the game they told Mum that I played, and they're like, you played really well. And she's like,
she didn't know.
Nah. She's like, I don't want me little boy to get hurt. Calm down, Mum.
I love that.
But so family was always a big part of who I am, and and I continue to keep them in my mind, especially Nan. She was
definitely
so resilient, and she went through a lot with her cancers and even everything. So to see someone become who they are through all of that struggle, that builds a lot of resilience within the community. So
definitely,
but as I said, professionally, as I said, Arnie Faye was a big advocate for who I am, and working within this community, and doing what I do now. Yeah, it's a lot to do with how she brought me into BADAC.
Yeah, that's cool.
And honestly, I never even thought about working at BADAC. It was not something that I've ever thought about.
On the mind,
There's a lot of past history, and I'm like, I don't know, but to see where it's come now, and the medical clinic, and what we can do to build a healthier community.
That's it. Yeah.
I am passionate about Aboriginal health, and how we can get healthier and stronger.
Yeah. What was that change for, with the old medical in our main building, and then this new beautiful building? How's that been? And
we've already run out of space.
Yeah, so that's it.
But that's I think it's a testament to how the Ballarat community, Aboriginal community is that we have so many services that we do offer, and so many great people working within the clinic that that I think it's huge, and the place is chalk and cheese.
Yeah, that's it.
The old clinic, it was tiny.
That's it.
And it was part of the old building.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even know now that medical's in there. Hey,
no, and that's what when I go over them, like, I can't believe we were here.
Yeah, I mean, we did a music video in there as well. Hey, with the jab wrap.
That's right. Yeah. And like in the meeting room, I'm like, this used to be the old treatment room.
Yeah,
here.
true.
And I'm like, this
so
is
weird.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it is a testament to the growth of BADAC.
That's it.
And I think it's still important that we do keep community at the forefront about what we want to do. So, but it's funny. I still remember where BADAC was in Aya Street
Yeah.
like in the old house there, being when all the mob were there, and it was just this house, and it was, it's just the history around BADAC, and where it's grown from. As I said, Nan was one of the original directors, along with the Kanoas and the Lovitts, and it's grown to a point where it's we are able to make sustainable change, but putting in the right processes and programs and the right people in these positions is important. So, I was thinking about one of the early memories of BADAC, and there's a lot. And when I was thinking about it, BADAC has been, and the community has been a big part of who I am. But in those old buildings, and there was a DVD or a video made called Making Pictures.
Oh yeah.
And
I think I've seen this actually. As you as a kid,
the most embarrassing thing.
Oh God, I want to look that up now.
This is the first time you swore on camera, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they caught that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I've seen this.
Yeah. And I was like 15, or I was a silly age, but
it's great.
and it is great because it's old, but it's fantastic. But fun fact, the day before we started recording, I thought it'd be a great idea to bleach my hair.
Oh
no.
Yeah, but
Slim Shady.
not only my hair, my eyebrows.
Your
Oh no.
So they had to put because I was in 2 scenes, and one scene they had to put a beanie on.
Oh yeah.
And I was in bed, so I just had a black beanie on the
Blonde
whole time.
eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then the next scene I was in, but I think I was like in juvie or something, so it sort of suited the scene. Like it was
that's
terrible,
it.
but
You should learn early.
but that was shot at the I Street old BADAC building, old office,
cool.
and it's getting around.
Yeah.
I don't think I should have brought it up.
No,
No, I'm going to get my hands on
I
that
don't
now.
remember where I seen it, but someone showed it to me. Probably Uncle Tony or something.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, Uncle Tony was in
Was
it. There
involved,
was heap that it was
Yeah.
all from community. I think it was directed by Richard Franklin as well. So Uncle Richard Franklin was a part of that, and that was a long while ago.
Yeah,
but,
great memories though. Hey,
but even being a part of the Balajan dance group when I was younger, being in front of lots of different people and meeting new people, and dancing in front of the old prime ministers, and
cool.
At old Stedfords, and dancing in front of people who aren't from Australia, so all these visitors and tourists, and being asked if all Aboriginal people can play the didge, and I got no idea, and it was funny. When we were dancing for these American mob, they're like, that was their question. I'm like, that's a bit racist, but Uncle Peter's like, show him, and I'm just like, and I just got no idea. But dancing, and that's all old memories that been around for a little while. So it's
I might have to get you back.
Well, I might have to get you back in might have to get you back into a lap one day, brother. If I can still dance, I reckon you can too.
Give me a few footy seasons and trim down a bit.
Right.
But I remember,
Right.
but like freezing around in pouring down rain, and just like, what am I doing? But
that's it.
It was an experience, and it's an important part of
100%.
culture and who we are. And I even discovered a dance myself. It was stomp a shake. So I was trying to shake a leg and stomp at the same time. Like nearly done my knees and my ankles, but no one noticed. Like Benno and Rudy were like, "What was that?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Starting a trend.
I got confused. But there was some really good times, and and looking back on those, there was mob that isn't around anymore.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And it just helps bring them, back to the forefront and go, they were a part of my life. And they were a part of our community. And
and they're always going to be bonds that you've got forever. Hey, like you might not see each other every day, but when you do, something that you can look back on and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
So,
which is pretty cool.
but yeah.
Yeah, nice.
No, well, you will be back in a lot like one day, brother. So
I've thought about it.
might even try and get your little fellas in there too and shake a leg with us. Should be cool.
Yeah.
Would be very cool.
One day, yeah. Never say never.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of? Like with everything that you've been through, like with your nursing and like becoming a dad and doing all that sort of stuff. Like what are you most proud of?
It just have to be, being a dad and being able to, see their young ones come up and who they are and their and just their emotions and their personalities, and it is amazing to see that as well. But I guess also, proud of who we are and what we are becoming, and seeing where we are as a community moving forward, and what we can achieve. So
Cool.
So it's just keep on going and keep on moving through.
Yeah,
That's all we can do, eh?
that's it.
Yep.
Amazing.
If you weren't nursing, what would you be doing, you reckon?
No idea. Probably line up in Centrelink, I guess.
Yeah.
But be trying to
Woodwork.
Yeah. No idea. Well, when I was younger, I think I worked at KFC.
Yep.
That was my first job, and I was labouring for a little while, plastering, and I worked at Australia Post for a while, firefighting.
Yeah.
Now a nurse, so I didn't really expect to do much.
Yeah.
I didn't really know where I wanted to be, but I knew I didn't want to be someone who was just coasting. And I didn't. I wanted to actually. I did want to achieve something.
Passion. Yeah, that's it.
But I never knew what it was going to be.
Yep.
Thought I was going to be a professional golfer.
Yeah.
That didn't work out real great. When I was younger, I did want to play cricket.
Yep.
Played heaps of sports, but I never knew what I wanted to actually do.
Yep.
So, to find something that I am passionate about, work is difficult.
Yeah.
But it is what I'm passionate about. I love what I do, and I love being able to support us, collectively, community through what we're trying to do, and build that self-determination and resilience, and just trying to work towards a common goal of being strong and independent Aboriginal people.
That's it.
Cool. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like you said, you've done quite a fair few different things, and it wasn't until a little bit later on down the track where you found your passion and your drive for being a nurse. So there's nothing wrong with trying a million different things.
100%. You got to try, hey, to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was in the same situation. Like
Same.
wanted to be a teacher, but didn't want to go to uni.
Yeah.
But growing up as a kid, all I wanted to do was be a pro golfer. And I was lucky enough to be able to do that for a few years. But then I guess my real passion was doing what we're doing now, and that's working with Aboriginal kids and instilling culture into their lives and showing that it's okay to practice it in different ways. It's okay to not know who you are and where you come from. Will help you, sort of suss that out.
And like you said, everything doesn't go by what you do at school as well. There's always avenues to get in there, and
Absolutely.
I think we put so much pressure on like year 12 students to be like, what do you want to do? Like, you need to know now. You got to get into uni. Like, you don't need to know now. Like, yeah. And I was very similar at school. Like, I was there for me friends and just to hang out and do art and do sport and and had no idea. I think I changed my mind about 20 times. They're like, you're not in the right subjects to do that. But there's so many avenues to be able to end up doing what you want to do. And and I think it's important to get these kids while they're young and and talk about trauma, and don't let that determine your outcomes as well. 100%.
And there are avenues, and there's lots of different things that we can be, but letting that trauma dictate who we are. But how do we move forward, and how do we move through
how do we grow from it too? Hey, and stop that repeating
exactly
behaviors.
And that's exactly right. And that, and that's where it's important to educate the kids. They'll go home and educate their family and go, this and that. And,
Yeah,
this is
for
what
sure.
I've learnt today. And
Yep.
but educating the kids and then trying to build that resilience and strength at an early age, so they do have that positive thought of what can I do
Yeah.
when I get older.
Yeah.
Not this is where I'm stuck.
Yep.
And this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And there's no other way about it, but also building that resilience
Yeah. Yep.
for our young ones.
For sure. And, what does it mean to you to, for us, that you're someone who would be a role model for our youth, and, what does that mean to you? To have, some youth maybe looking up to you as, a role model. And
I'm always happy to have a
Yeah.
yarn and,
Yep.
and talk about that.
that's it.
Who, where I'm from and where I've come from
Yeah.
and what that means. And,
Yeah.
and having that early age, struggle
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're
It's all done
it's-
and yeah.
Yeah.
and it's not something that needs to be perpetuated or continued on. But and when I was talking to Pancakes the other day and I went and talked to the kids at the school,
Yeah.
No.
I just I could see all these young kids, they're all Aboriginal kids ready to just
Yeah.
learn and just and
Take it all in,
they're
yep.
looking up like
Yeah.
big brown eyes and
That's it.
and talking not
Yeah.
at them
Nah,
but talking with them,
them.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
supporting that conversation and being able to talk about things that I wasn't too in depth, but
Yeah.
talk about where I'm from and
Yeah.
That's it.
and mob and family
Yeah.
and options.
Yeah.
But it's great, and I think as I said, educating the kids and
Yeah.
letting them know that there are different pathways
100%.
into later stages of life. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to follow aunties or uncles,
Yeah.
but
That's it.
forging your own pathway and becoming your own person
Yeah.
is
Amazing.
important.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely deadly.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, mate. It's letting the kids know that, it's okay to take your time. It took me 14, 15 years to figure out what I wanted to do when I finished school.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
there's no rush
That's it.
at all.
Yeah,
Definitely.
What's next for Anthony?
taking over.
Yeah.
Taking over BADAC Medical. Look out, Koshy.
I think it's just trying to continue being the best nurse I can be,
Yep.
the best dad I can be, and just moving forward to help continue, build our community, build that strength, improve, health outcomes. How can we best do that, support that, advocate for our community? What does that mean? How do we get there? But really just continuing doing what we're doing, but trying to find easier, better,
Yeah.
better ways to do that, supporting community. And, I've been a big advocate for, BADAC, and we all are trying to do the same role. Like we're all doing the same role of looking after community.
Yeah.
But we can be siloed. So people are doing the same job, but in different places. But if we could all work together,
Bring it as one.
and
Yeah.
really build that within BADAC would
Yeah. 100%.
be it's important. And when we do that, we are able to
100%. Yeah.
improve outcomes, health or mental health or physical health or, community health. That's really what, I'm passionate about.
Yep.
That is just, we all working together, to build up our organisation and our community.
That's it.
But I think, it's paramount that we keep our community at the forefront.
That's
because,
right.
this is why we're all here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
Definitely. I think we need to be doing that with how big BADAC's getting as well. Hey, like you don't want it to get too big and, we're all in our own little bubbles and not communicating with each other. It's so important that we are coming up with things that we can all do as one.
Yeah. And as I said, I've been here for 10 years and
Yep.
seeing it, and I've been here, family.
Since you're a
whole
kid,
life.
yeah.
That's
so
it. Yeah.
seeing it start from such a small organisation
Yeah.
with the same values and goals
That's
to
it.
what it is
What is
now.
Yeah.
But how do we achieve that with such a big organisation?
Yep.
And so many, so many staff and so many different people.
That's it.
Working, working towards the same goal. And that brings me back to, what we need to do is educate the young mob.
Yeah.
To have Aboriginal people looking after Aboriginal people.
That's right.
And that self-determination of making our own decisions on our outcomes. So
that's great.
and I think that's really that's what we're striving for.
For sure. Yep. I think we might have to get you in a youth group, I reckon.
So the same thing. I think we definitely need to get you in to come and have a chat to the kids.
Yeah, a lot of people down.
Come and do like a mini health check or something like that on the kids, and
that'd be really cool.
because some of them probably have never had,
No.
I guess, like a general health check before. God, I haven't had one for. I can't remember.
Very, very important.
I know. I'm stubborn.
Book him in now.
and that was something talking to the kids as well. I'm like, get your health check, you get your voucher.
That's
get
it.
your voucher. They're like, oh, get a voucher.
Yeah.
Just worried about the voucher, not the health
Well,
check.
that's it. Well, that's like the T-shirts, hey, like the Deadly Choices
Well, that's
T-shirts.
something that I've been trying to get in.
Yeah.
But
And it gets you in. Free T-shirt.
Absolutely.
Free feed, free T-shirt. You're in.
Absolutely. And and that Deadly Choices is that we should be
100%.
bringing in. But also, so getting the kids in, talking to people about getting their health check, it's extremely important.
Yeah.
It's a good preventative tool to help look after ourselves. But,
Definitely.
especially for the kids, they get a gift voucher and they're like, great.
Sweet.
You'd be their favourite person.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
We come and see you all the time. Every time they go to see you, get a voucher.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're not due for another 12 months.
Yeah, that's it. But no, I think that's something important. I think we definitely need to try and lock you in to come and see the kids and talk to them about the importance of looking after themselves and their health just in general. And if we can do like a mini health check on the kids as well,
that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. Maybe even the staff.
Yeah,
as well.
Absolutely. Book everybody in.
Book the whole building in. I guess when the dust is settled and you've moved on from BADAC and you're old and retired and whatever, like how do you want to be remembered?
I guess I just want to be remembered as someone who was passionate about what they do and good for brought something to the community, brought something to the organisation, and brought something to family and friends, and just really, someone who has tried their best and just really hopefully something sticks with some of the mob, and we do continue on that journey of self-determination and resilience, and just would like to just be remembered as someone who was always up for a joke and a yarn, and but can be caring and supportive as well. So
that's great.
It's a long way away now. I'm only 22, so
and the rest.
See, there's those jokes he was just talking about.
Little jokey joke. No, it's I don't think you've got any issues there, Ant. Like I've seen sort of all sides of you. I've seen the funny side. I've seen sides of you when things are pretty dark and you're a bit down, and then I've seen the serious side with you working and like just talking to you now, like the passion that you've got for just being a dad to Oak and the boys, and then obviously being a nurse. It's great to be able to have a chat to you around that sort of stuff. So I don't think when the dust is set on you, you're gone, mate. I think it's going to be remembered for quite a while when it comes to Ant Harris and being, I guess, you're the only male nurse at BADAC or Aboriginal nurse
at BADAC.
At BADAC.
I think it was a little while I was the only Aboriginal nurse within Southwest Victoria for a little while.
Yep.
That was a while ago, but it just, and that goes to show that that was something that I never thought about doing, and then just sort of stumbled upon and just become. But it's become it's become my passion and who I am, and I'm very lucky to be doing it. So.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, superpower, dude.
What's it gonna be?
What would it be? Superpower.
What I would love, right, is just to eat anything whatsoever and not affect me like just
Yeah, that would be great.
That would be.
I never even thought of that one. That's
that
a great
would
one,
be
though.
like the best.
Ideal,
like
wouldn't
if
it?
I just look at something, I'm just like 2 kilos heavier. So just to be able to eat whatever I want and just like not really remain the same, but just lose weight and just remain like just something around that. But food is another passion. Like I'll eat it passionately.
Do you like the cooking stage or just the eating stage?
Terrible cook. Like I can't cook to save your life after time. Like burn toast.
That's brilliant.
But if that would be a superpower, just eat anything and just not let it affect me, that would be nice.
Wish I could do that too.
It'd be great.
Awesome. All right, well, brother, thank you so much, brother, for coming in and giving up your time. I know you're bloody busy over there at medical, but it's been great just to sit down and have a chat with you and find out a little bit more about who you are and how you got to where you are now, and talking to you about you being a dad. And we're excited to get you in and work with our kids.
That's it. Get some future medical stuff in,
might have another male nurse in our youth group. You never know. So
mate.
No, we appreciate you giving it your time, and we'll lock that golf rematch in soon.
Perfect. We'll live stream it.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
I'll film you.
Sweet brother. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ant.
See you guys.